Hello, everybody. Hey, another episode of Off Our Game podcast. You are listening to the best little sports podcast in the country. Like I said, this is Off Our Game podcast. We discuss the previous week in sports. We do our best to debate and laugh and occasionally have a little fun, make some relevant points here and there just to keep you excited and interested for you guys to come next week. We do this all in an hour. My name is Brandon Sosa, and I do not do this alone. So I welcome two awesome men who are much smarter than I am. The first one is practically an FLG himself. He just hasn't been hired by anybody yet. Welcome, Brian Cook.
Good evening, gentlemen. Are you ready for this?
Very matter of fact there, Brian Cook.
I am ready for this.
So,
as my first at this Texans GM, I am going to be firing Bob.
All right, we'll get there in a second. The other man is the pride of East Texas. I've been known, someone told me a few times. This is Kerry Mullins.
What's up? Salutations.
Salutations.
I know, right? Hey, he led off with it.
Salutations.
Oh, man. Before we dig deep, we've got breaking news. Apparently, Major League Baseball took care of things. The owners voted unanimously to let Mr. Manfred make an imposed decision on the season. We were at 60 games. Apparently, the players are on board. We're still trying to work through the details of protocols and safety, but just got to lead it off with that because Major League Baseball actually did something. So
Finally.
Goodness gracious.
Thank you, Lord.
And that's what the players are saying, too. They're like, finally. This is what we told you to do the whole time.
Yes. The owner should have done this the whole time. If I would have known that it took a unanimous decision to get this done, I would have said done that like 2 months ago. Get it done.
Just do it.
Anyway.
Wasn't the vote last week like 33-2 or something stupid?
Yeah.
It was like a 2-vote difference. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway.
Hashtag just start already.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Before we get into our show, what happened last week, guys? What's going on? How are y'all been since our last show?
Man, it's been a busy weekend around the Cook household. We are moving and grooving around here.
What does that
mean? Lots of cleaning. I'm making my home gym into my garage. I've got to get that thing going. I got a punching bag. I got to get hung up, and I have acquired some weights. Yeah. So I'm getting ready to get down in the garage.
Okay, how did you acquire weights? It's been hard pressed to find anything around Brian.
Dude, I got lucky. I was at Target for all places, and I found a couple of dumbbells in there, and they're only 20 pounds. And it was the only two dumbbells they had, and they don't even match. They're totally different. One's like solid metal, the other one's got that rubber coating. But I was like, I don't give a crap. I'm taking them both.
Nice.
I mean, I'm just looking. Now, just got to find a jump rope. If I can find me a jump rope, I'm set.
So you're preparing you're going to be the second exhibition match with Mike Tyson? Is that what it is?
No. No.
$1 million. One round.
Like, dude?
If you give me $1 million cash in my pocket after taxes, after medical bills,
yeah,
I'll do it.
You'll do it?
But I'm going to have medical bills paid for. I want all my per diems and everything set up ahead of time. I want all that stuff covered. So I get $1 million cash in my pocket after taxes said and done. I'll step in the ring with Mike.
But you have to last one round.
No. I'm not promising nothing. I'll step in the ring and I will give it my all. It may not last 30 seconds, but I will get in there and I will do my best.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do the Apollo Creed thing. You have to make sure to dance around the ring. Don't dance with this guy. You got to go around the ring, Yeah.
You give me the money ahead of time to train and stuff, I'll do it. I'll step in the ring with Mike. He will kill me, but I will get in the ring with Mike. I'll do it.
Oh, I love that. Mullins, what's going on this last week, man? What's going on?
Oh, man, I tell you what. I drank some Kool-Aid, and it's the CrossFit Kool-Aid.
Really?
So I joined the CrossFit gym.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh.
And done 2 classes so far, and I'm dying. Yeah.
You're dying?
No joke, man.
Not going to lie.
You can be in shape, and then there's CrossFit shape.
Yeah.
Or CrossFit shape. There is so much difference. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so how are the workouts? Is it like an hour long, 30 minutes? What are they like?
Well, yeah, so you have an hour, and I mean, you're going to get there, and you're going to do your warm-up and stretching out, getting ready to go, and then you get into the first round of your workout, and then another round, and then kind of a cool down. Okay. So overall, that will take roughly an hour.
Okay.
But yeah, that first round is brutal enough. The second round's really tough. And third round is just, you're dying. So
yeah,
you can't really feel anything by that point.
I so badly want to do that, but I'm absolutely terrified of what it's going to do to my knees. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Well, I'll tell you what. So the trainers are very adamant about proper form on everything. And so, if you're not doing proper form, they'll get you to drop the weight and work on your form. And as long as you're getting your form down really good, then your joints are a whole lot less impacted. So, I've always made fun of CrossFitters because a lot of the stuff that they do, I think, is just hilarious.
It's funny you mentioned that. I follow a couple of guys on YouTube that I watch just to kind of get ideas for working out. I've watched them for, I don't know, a year or so just to kind of get ideas for personal workais and stuff like that. But I've been really wanting to do that as well. So I'm interested to hear you do that. I have to keep following and see what you keep doing and how you're thinking about it.
Yeah, so far, so good. Like I said, it's only 2 classes so far.
Don't you do that, Sosa? You do CrossFit training too, don't you?
You could call it CrossFit. I would say it's a lower end of CrossFit if you would say anything like that. But I do Camp Gladiator I do Camp Gladiator about 4 times a week now.
Nice.
On average about 3 to 4 times a week. And it depends. It depends on the trainer. I go to one trainer. Her name is Carly. That girl, she is a badass, and not just herself.
Right trainer makes all the difference, man.
But her workouts are killer. Like I can go to somebody else and I can get through a workout sometimes really easy, but I can go to her and I will definitely die. Like if I push myself really hard, I will die with her workouts. So, but yeah, she even said this last workout we did. She said, "If y'all aren't cussing me by now, I said that I'm doing y'all a disservice." I was
right.
Okay.
Awesome.
I've heard a trainer say that before. If I can't make you hate me, then I'm not doing my job.
Yeah. So that's her goal all the time. So, but yeah, I'm with you, Cook. I worry more about my lower back. I went to a CrossFit, couple of CrossFit gyms in College Station, just to like try them out, and I worry just about lower back stuff for me. So, because I have a compressed disc. So
yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need a compressed disc turning into fractures.
Exactly.
No.
So
that's bad news all the way around.
So Camp Gladiator is my like in between. Like it's still pretty intense. But like the heaviest I'll do is like 35-pound dumbbells. So
we should consider, and I know I'm throwing this out here in the middle of a show. We should consider the 3 of us doing something together as an off our game group. Like some sort of, I know they canceled a lot of these mud runs and stuff like that, but we need to find something that we could all 3 do together like that.
I thought we were doing the Mike Tyson fight together. I thought me and Mullins were going to be the trainers in the corner, and you were going to fight.
You get
that deal signed, sealed, and delivered, and we will do that.
And you're going to be sitting there going, I can't go. I'm going, you're going.
Yeah.
You are going out.
No, you're going, Cook. You know how much money's on this now, Cook? No, you're going.
You're going.
You know how much we get as trainers? You're going to go.
Man. Yeah, exactly. You know how much? Yeah, we're getting our cut, Cook. You're getting in there.
Oh, shoot. Well,
I can just see you on the sideline going, ooh, did you see that? Damn, look at Cook's face now. All right, well, I got paid.
Yep.
All right.
And then, like, you'll be laying in the middle of the floor, and so soon it'll be like, okay, time to go. See you later.
That's right.
Let's go.
Somebody get him off the mat so we get paid. Come on, let's go. So, let's get started, guys. Let's get started on quick hitters. All right, let's get our show going. All right, so my quick hitter number 1, I'm starting it off tonight since most time, I bat last, but I'm going to bat first today. So This question came up at the very beginning of the week, and I threw that out there, and I like the topic. So is there any quarterback in the NFL that is untradeable? It was a very good topic. I thought it would be great for us. So anybody can jump in. I only have 2, but I'll let y'all go first.
No.
Go ahead, Mullins. I'll let you roll first, man.
No, there's none that are untradeable.
Ooh,
it's just a question of the cost. That's it. Doesn't matter who it is. It's a question of the cost.
Did you hit your head?
How can you say that? New England just let Tom Brady go. He's walk out.
He's 43 years old.
He's still playing at the top of the game.
And he wasn't
traded, but they let him go for nothing.
But he's 43 years old. I mean, if he wasn't 43 years old, they'd have done what they needed to do to resign him. So you're telling me you would trade Patrick Mahomes?
No, I would not trade him. No, but
I don't understand your argument.
Well, okay, I'll put it to you. If somebody offered me like the next 10 first-round picks, there you go.
We know nobody's offering 10 first-round picks. Matter of fact, that's against the collective bargaining agreement. They can't even do that. But what if they come to you with a Herschel Walker type deal that Dallas got, something like that? Would you be willing to accept that for Patrick Mahomes?
Or do you need a little more than that? But that's still saying that he's tradable.
Then I think
you're always a mouth.
No way.
It just comes down to the cost.
Oh man, I don't know how to argue Mullins' logic there. Cook, you go ahead, man. Is there anybody untradeable in the NFL?
I think you have to look at it from a franchise perspective. I mean, looking at it from a fan perspective, there's no way I trade a Patrick Mahomes ever. That dude's not getting traded. I'm not trading him. If I'm the Houston Texans, I'm not trading Deshaun Watson either. Young quarterbacks like that, I'm not trading Lamar Jackson. Those three dudes are the guys that come off the top of my head right now. You're not trading those guys.
Okay.
They're young. They're the leaders of their vision of a franchise. They're the leaders of those teams. They obviously have great talent. They're going to be there for a long period of time. I have a hard time thinking of anybody else other than those three that I wouldn't trade for. Anybody else, I would be like, oh, maybe. But those three, I definitely wouldn't trade.
What about Russell Wilson? Is he on your list?
I'd trade Russell Wilson.
You trade him?
I don't think Russell Wilson's that special. I like Russell Wilson. I like him a lot. Russell Wilson is just a more expensive Dak Prescott, in my opinion.
What if I told you that he has the most fourth quarter comebacks since entering the league?
I know that. And I agree with that. I think he is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's a very good, solid.
He's got a championship,
but he's still trading.
But he's also got to factor in his age now too. What, he's like 33, 34 now?
Russell Wilson?
Yeah, is he like 32, 33?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's that old.
But I don't think he's in. I don't even think he's in his 30s. Is he?
No, I believe
he may be
so.
30.
Yeah, I was to say.
He's not on the list.
Okay, he's 30. He's
31.
Close. He's 31.
He's close. He's close. If he was 28, I'd put him on that list of not tradable.
Okay.
But he's close.
But again, so you're going to say if he was 28, he's untradeable. If I offer you, let's say that I'm the worst team in the NFL next year, I've got the number 1 pick, and I've got 2 other picks in the first round. I give you 2 of those picks in the first round, including the number 1 pick, plus maybe a second rounder. You're going to say no?
You're going to be 3 first-round picks.
No, 2 first-round picks, 2 first, 2 second.
2 first and 2 second.
Yeah, and including the number 1 pick.
It just depends on who's in the draft. It really does. It depends on who's in the draft. I'm with you. I'm going to need more probably, but he would be tradable in my opinion. It's hard to find those guys who are young, who are that talented, who are really young and have so much more upside to go. And plus you got them on the rookie deals as well. I'm not getting rid of those young guys. The older they get, maybe. But, if you say you have Tom Brady, who's, won 6 Super Bowls. If the dude wasn't 43, he's still in New England. If he didn't want to leave. I mean, obviously there's other things going on with him and Belichick, but
I was going to say, no, he's not in New England.
There's other things
for way more than just his age.
Exactly. If you keep that all even, though, and that's all not the problem, or playing football, no way Tom Brady leaves the Patriots. There's just no way.
All right. So what do you think?
Okay, so yes. In my question, yes, there's untradeable quarterbacks, right? It's a very short list, right? It's Mahomes, it's Jackson if he keeps up his development, and I include Russell Wilson in there. Okay, I think that he is not as talented as those first 2, but I think there's some intangibles that he has on the football field. Reminds me almost. I don't want to say John Elway I don't want to say like that because he doesn't have that great of an arm. I don't think compared to Elway, but as far as some fourth quarter comebacks and staying clutch, he clearly has that. Now, would I trade him with the right price? Russell Wilson, yes. Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Mahomes, no. I wouldn't trade those guys
you wouldn't
right
trade
now.
Deshaun Watson?
No, I would not trade. I would not trade.
Really?
What do you have against Deshaun Watson?
I would not trade Deshaun Watson.
He is not in the same league as Mahomes and Lamar.
I disagree with that.
What has he won?
Well, he got a bad coach. He has a bad coach, man.
What has Lamar Jackson won? He hasn't won anything. But you're considering him the same
but
thing.
he's done better.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a playoff win. Deshaun Watson has a playoff win.
Oh,
matter of fact, I think Deshaun Watson has 2 of them, I believe.
So, that's true. And Watson does. Okay, Watson has no O line. He has no, and Russell Wilson has never really had an O line either.
He had no O line until this year.
Those are 2 things that I will have to say about those 2 quarterbacks. They don't have O lines, right? And that's a big factor in quarterback production. You guys know that as much as I do. Watson and Russell Wilson run for their lives back there completely. But short list is those 2 guys right there. But if anybody comes to me with anything, it's got to be a trade. I'm talking superstars. We're trading like franchise players. Like you better give me something that I want.
It's going to have to be heavy.
Yeah. We're talking Herschel Walker trade.
So there you go.
Bill O'Brien.
You just put a price on it.
If you're Bill O'Brien, you'll trade anybody for a 3rd-round pick and a ham sandwich.
That's true. You're right. If he's going to trade Watson, he won't get much for it. That's for sure. So anyway, I thought it was a great topic, guys. So Cook, what did you bring to the table for your quick hitter, man?
My quick hitter is not as heavy as that topic, man. That one was interesting. This is just about the ESPYs, though. Did you watch them? Are the ESPYs still relevant? And what did you think of the ESPYs being virtual this time around? And I'll let you boys hit it off with that.
No, dude, I didn't even watch it. I'll tell you this straight up. I didn't watch it. It was virtual. I saw the host, and I was done. I was like, nope, I ain't watching any of this. So there's too much hypersensitivity right now. I'm going to hear during the ESPYs. I won't even hear what's actually going on. So I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I neither did I. And honestly, I don't think it's relevant anymore.
No, it's not. No, because it's not about sports.
It's kind of lost.
It's not about sports anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's become so political. You know, it's been that way for the last few years, I think.
Yeah, they've gone way past sports, and it's not fair to the fans, honestly. So.
Yeah. The last one I watched was the one that Peyton Manning hosted because it was actually funny. At least he was actually funny and enjoyable to listen to. But yeah, I any of these award shows now I can't even watch because it's so political. Everything goes up there and just says something. I'm just like, okay, I heard that the last 10 times somebody was up there. So
I did try to watch the ESPYs. I literally did. I was like, okay, there's nothing else on TV. I'm going to watch the ESPYs. I turned it on and I couldn't get through 5 minutes of it.
Why?
Within 5 minutes, I was like, I can't watch it. It's just miserable to watch.
Talking about the virtual political or just because there's something else?
The virtual part of it, I just didn't feel like it was done well at all to begin with. I mean, it was virtual. I get they got their difficulties going on like that. It's, it just didn't seem like it was well done. I didn't like the political undertones of it either.
So you're saying they didn't get the tech guys from the NFL draft?
They didn't get the NFL draft guys at all, man. Yeah. It just seemed like it was just like I kept watching little 30-second commercials is all it was. It wasn't. It didn't seem cohesive at all. I was just like, whatever. I disregarded it. And even when they did the announcements of I watched one award, and I think it was the Can't Watch Moments of the Year or something like that is the one I watched. And even when they showed the ones that can't watch moments, I still never really – I don't think I ever found out who actually won the award.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
It was that, like, disjointed. It was like, well, who won? I don't even know who won. So, yeah, it was – I think they've gone past their relevance. Yeah,
it was crazy. In the beginning, those first, about 5, 6, maybe up to 10 years, I really enjoyed the ESPYs. I thought it was great. I was like, this is awesome. Let's talk about sports for 2 hours. It was great, but not anymore. I can't get into it anymore, so – anyway, all right, quick hitter number 3, Kerry Mullins. What you got, man?
Well, going to my favorite team, the Cowboys. Dak Prescott signs his franchise tender. So $31.4 million, and they have until July 15th to, make a deal, or that's what he's playing. So I was excited to see that. I'm glad that he went ahead and did that. A lot of people say that, and it can go either way, saying that you see a guy sign his franchise tender, that means that they're actually really close to a good deal. And then some other guys, a lot of the experts right now are saying, no, that's not really true. I think they're probably close. But Dak sees the writing on the wall, and he's like, I better do something to assure that I've got a playing spot here.
Playing spot? Do you think if he didn't sign the tender that he wouldn't have a playing spot?
If he would have held out, if he wasn't signed, I think he would have held out.
I think he may have held out, but you think as soon as he shows back up, you don't think he's the starter as soon as he walks back in the door?
Depends on how well the Andy does.
Oh my God, I think you'd be crazy not to put him back at quarterback.
What if Andy's just like
tearing it up? I don't give a damn if Andy Dalton's 3-0 and runs 17 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Wow.
Dak Prescott is my starter as soon as he walks in the door.
Really?
Andy Dalton is 1 quarter away from throwing 7 interceptions. I mean, it's just there's no way. But back to the subject of him actually signing the tender, I think in his way he's putting the screws to the Cowboys, in my opinion. He's putting them out there saying, look, all right, you guys are going to keep dragging your feet. I'm going to sign this contract. I'm going to sign this tender, and I'm not going to I don't think he's going to resign between now and July 15th. I think he's going to force them to go through the season. He's going to bet on himself again and see how he does through the season. If he has another good year, then they're screwed next year. They're going to have
to. That's a big gamble.
It's a big gamble, but you know what? He's made $2 million so far in his career. He's going to get $31 million this year, so I think it's okay. He'll be all right.
Yeah, but he could get hurt. He could play like he played the last half of last year, which was not very good.
And even if he plays like he did in the last half of last year, he's still a $30 million contract because that's the going rate for a quarterback. So he does nothing to do but gain.
But he doesn't want the going rate. He wants the top rate.
I get that, but he has the only thing that he can lose is the status quo. He can still be at the $31 million contract. And if they franchise him next year, it's a $37 million contract, which is more than what he's looking for. And if he sticks around again after that, then it goes to $57 million. There's no way they're going to sign him for that. He'll end up being Kirk Cousins if they don't get this done after the end of next year. He'll leave and he'll go somewhere else and he'll get some crazy, ridiculous deal somewhere else.
He could be Alex Smith.
Alex Smith has been a great quarterback in my opinion.
I'm talking about getting hurt. Almost
it could happen.
Career injury.
That could happen at any moment.
And then he's just screwed.
Yeah.
That could happen at any moment with any player, and I get that. But he's guaranteed that $31 million. There's a lot of quarterbacks or players out there who had these devastating injuries who were guaranteed much less than that.
Agreed. But
I think I'm with Cook. I think he's putting the screws to the Cowboys too, and I think he's doing it by, you know what, I'm gonna be a good teammate. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna be here. You know, hopefully through all of OTAs and everything, that nothing bad happens. You know, coronavirus wise. And I think maybe they are close. Now, do I think they're going to have anything prior to the season? No, I don't think they're going to have anything done. And if season plays out, you know, the longer it goes, so it's not a distraction, Dak's not going to bring it up. I feel it that way. He's always been that way. He's been a class act the whole time. So he's not going to do it. So he's going to wait till the season if nothing happens beforehand. So
I think he's going to handle it all. You know, he's going to handle it just flawlessly, I think. And I think it's all going to play into his hands, and it's going to really cost the Cowboys big because they didn't handle their business. Yeah,
I agree. Now, I don't like the idea of paying him $35 million, but at the end, that's what's going to happen. So what do y'all guys think about him wanting a 4-year deal over 5? I keep hearing that over and over again, though, that he wants 4 years and not 5.
I get that. You know, we're hearing the same thing here in Houston with Deshaun Watson. He only wants a 3-year contract extension. You know, these guys want the short-term deal so they can re-up and get another huge contract within 3 to 4 years because of, you know, the anticipated salary cap going up again, you know, and cashing in again. You know, if he signs a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal, then he really limits himself on that next deal.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I kind of agree with that because things change so much year to year with salaries. So in 4 years, it could be $40 million a year.
Yeah, that, and also, you know, it's in my opinion, it's also his way of keeping the Cowboys in check and the Texans in check of saying, look, I'm signing for 3 years or I'm signing for 4 years. If you don't keep your act together and we don't have the players here that we need and whatnot, I'm not sticking around long term. I'm getting the heck out of here and going somewhere else.
So that goes back to the playing for the winner situation too, which we could get into that way too much. But I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of these. I'm not a fan of the 3-4-year contracts. 4 years I'm okay with. The 3-year contract I'm not a fan of. I understand these guys have a life shelf and they're trying to make as much money as possible. But most of these guys, when they sign that first big contract, they make more money than most people make in their entire lifetime. So I have a hard argument with that sometimes because most of these guys, man, when Dak signs that tender, he's going to make more money than, golly, I don't know how much more people, you know, in this country. I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't have it. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not saying he hasn't earned it. And I'm not saying any of those things. Because he has. I mean, it's just one of those things. I'm just like, when they say want to get paid, I'm just like, man, you get paid a lot, man. That money's going to last plenty of generations in your family. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. Y'all have anything else?
No, I agree with you on that. These guys, you know, they're trying to get the best that they can for that short period of time. You know, they, like you said, Kerry, you know, Alex Smith at any point, and they would never get that money that they wanted to get. And, you know, like you said, so these guys are making more money than most people. As a matter of fact, most of these guys are making generational wealth.
Yeah.
If it's handled correctly. Now, you know, a lot of people don't handle their finances, but that's in the real world as well. A lot of people don't handle their finances correctly. So I understand trying to maximize their amount of money they make, but I'm with you. I'd like to see them sign a longer term contract, but I also see the players aspect too. Like, look, I'm going to be here. I'm going to play for a contender. I want to make sure you're holding your end of the bargain as well. And if I sign a short term contract, it kind of forces you to do that.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Well, let's go. Let's go to our meat and potatoes. Let's get to our topics of the night. Let's have good discussions here, guys. So I didn't watch all these fights on the main card. So first one we're going to get to, guys, is UFC Fight Night this past Saturday. So I didn't watch everything. I just watched the Blades fight at the end because I just wanted to see him. Blades is one of my favorite fighters. I didn't really watch anything until I got to that main event. So I don't really know what happened on the undercard because I didn't watch any of the prelims. But anyway, after that was all over, of course, I watched, you know, the post-fight and all this other stuff and everything. So one of the things that came up was very interesting. So one of the first fight, I think it was the first fight of the evening, actually, is Hubbard versus, I'm going to ruin this guy's name, but Roscoff. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, apparently this guy Roscoff, I don't want to say it wrong here plenty of times, between the second and third rounds, went to his trainer multiple times, reportedly up to 9 times, telling his trainer that, hey, stop the fight, stop the fight, stop the fight. Anyway, apparently they were going to let third round go, but Nevada Athletic Commission, Sports Commission came in and actually stopped the fight. It wasn't the trainer itself. He was already behind both rounds. He lost the first 2 rounds. Anyway, my question to you guys, is this a lack of protection by the trainer, or was he right in forcing his fighter to keep going?
It's a fine line. So I watched the clip of the kid sitting in the corner and with his trainer, and, you know, his trainer's trying to pump him up, and the kid just keeps going, you know, call it. I can't do it no more. Call it. One thing is the kid only had 5 days to train. You know, he's a fill-in. So he didn't have the proper training. So he was exhausted. He was getting pummeled. I saw some more clips of the fight in the second round, and the other guy was just landing punches like he wasn't being blocked. So I can understand from the fighter's point of view that he knows that it's over. So why go out there and risk it anymore? But it is the trainer's responsibility to try to push your guy and keep him pumped up, try to get him back out there and fight as hard as he can. So it's really kind of it's a fine line. My understanding is that the ref came over there and the fighter told the ref, call it, I can't go no more. And then the ref went to the Nevada, what was it? The gaming or the fighting
commission there.
Yeah. And it said, he's done. And then they called it. So in this instance, seeing that the guy only had 5 days to train for it, you got to listen to your fighter.
Okay.
I'm with you on that as well. I agree. It's a fine line. But you got to listen to the guy too. If he's telling you he can't go, he can't go. If you know your fighter and you know your fighder well enough, okay, he just needs a little nudge, and that's different. But this dude was getting pummeled.
Yeah, he was.
It was obvious that he was getting beaten down, and he was just like, look, man, And I didn't know the backstory. He only got 5 days to train.
Yeah, it was 5 days of real short. He was a fill-in.
That even factors more into it. You got to know your fighter better than that, and I think that they should have stepped in. But what do you do in a situation if someone gets killed like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Somebody's like, I'm done, I'm tired, and they just give up, and then they could take a shot and it breaks their neck. They got to do a better job on that.
Well, Hubbard's okay. You're right about it. Okay. So I looked at statistics of the fight, and Hubbard landed almost 50% of his punches were to this Rokoff's kid's head. So 50% of his punches landed right on his head. I don't know.
It was like it was a shooting gallery. I mean, he was just like tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
Easy.
The guy was getting beat up pretty bad. So I didn't know about the 5 days either. I didn't know that backstory either, Mullen. So that was good to bring in. I agree with you guys. I think it was a lack of protection by the trainer. I think, if you work with this guy on a regular basis, you should know how to nudge him. I mean, you already push him enough whenever you're training with this guy, so you should know what it takes to actually get this guy motivated. And if he's not motivated and he's telling you like, hey, I can't go, maybe the first time, okay, like, dude, like, no, you got it. You're better than this, blah, blah, blah. Let's fight through it. But after that, like, you've got to protect your fighter. You got to know what's going on. You can't let him be out there and cause, more injury to himself for potentially more fights, But I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that they kept him in there. I didn't like the fact that the commission had to come in there and do that, and the referee had to call it too. I didn't like that at all. I think that was totally bad looking on his trainer.
Yeah, she never got there.
Huh?
Should have never gotten to that point.
No, it shouldn't have. No, it shouldn't have at all. And I don't know how he was looking after the first round either. I didn't get a chance to look at that whole thing. So I don't know how bad he came out of that first round, or if that second round was the one that beat him up the most. But regardless, if you're 50% of your punches are hitting your head, he's already taken plenty of shots already.
Yeah.
He
looked terrible too. He was his left eye was all swollen up, and he wasn't seeing anything. So
no, he was catching everything with his face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you got to, in an instance like that, you got to say, okay, you're right. You're done.
Yeah. So one of the things that this guy on the post game, and I'm going to bring this up to you guys, so I'm just kind of curious on your thoughts, because we live in a different world nowadays, right? So one of the post game thoughts was that Dan said was like, we live too much in a macho world now that sometimes we're not sensitive enough to hear what's going on because we're in a macho sport. We think we're in this macho world that we have to, how do I say it? Be a man, all the time. So do you agree with that comment too? What he had to say that, we're just constantly trying to be some macho person that, we're not listening to people, or is that just a bunch of bull crap?
I feel like it's the opposite way, in my opinion. I don't feel like I don't know about you guys, but it always seems like to me that we're less away from that macho aspect anymore, that macho mindset. I mean, to me, it seems like it's less of that nowadays. It seems like people tend to be more towards the softer side, it seems like to me. I mean, that's my opinion. Do y'all not feel that way?
I think it's cultural. It depends on, and in this instance, especially in MMA, you've got fighters from all over the world, and it's going to be a different culture in everywhere. You get a guy coming from Russia, he's probably going to be like hardcore. He's probably got a trainer that like slaps him with sticks all the time, Whereas, here in the States, that trainer would get arrested.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you bring a valid point. It is cultural, depending on where you were training at. It seems like here in the States that, we tend to, don't get me wrong, and I understand some of the science behind it. I can remember being back in the day, being in two-a-days back in, the early 90s, like, don't drink that water. It's going to make you sick and you're going to throw up. Swish it around your mouth and spit it out. No, that was the dumbest thing to do. You should be drinking the damn water.
Yeah.
So I understand, the science behind some of the things that are changing those perspectives, but I don't know. I don't know if it's your question is. I feel it's the other way around with some of the guys from the States, but I can see where it's coming from.
I feel like the United States is. I feel like we're a little more sensitive nowadays. I think some of the awareness that they bring up about training, I think sometimes makes it better that way too, because you're like there's different signs now that you see. But also I think mentality, I think is just different too. I mean, I've seen kids that I have coached or watched games and just give them so easy. I mean, the idea of competition scares them sometimes. Like, hey, like why am I going to keep going if I'm just going to get beat out? Like, no, that's why you keep competing, because you don't know what's going to happen. You compete to the very last drop because you don't know what's going to happen. And to get some of these kids that way, I mean, they were so quick to give up. I mean, I had to like entice them, like, no, we'll keep going because you don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea. So I think it's a little bit of both. That's my opinion.
I see that a lot too, Sosa. And it's interesting to me to see how I can remember being as a kid, and I don't know if it's generational. I don't know what it is. When we played ball, it was like, man, you gave everything you had to win that game. You were diving. I got kids nowadays I try to coach, and then you get down by one score, and like, oh, the game's over. No, the game's not over, dude. It's the first quarter. We're down by one score.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. We got plenty of time to come back, push, strive through. Even if we're down by one touchdown in the fourth quarter, we still got plenty of time. Let's make it, play your hardest. I got kids that wouldn't even dive for plays. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Well, I don't want to dive. What do you mean you want to dive? I don't understand. Lay out for that. Well, that's not what I want to do. And I don't know what that is. It's got to be generational, because all the kids I grew up with, I mean, that's what it was. You busted your ass, you hauled ass, you did everything you had to do to win.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, man, they're soft.
It is, though.
I don't know what's making them soft. I don't know if it's just because they're all playing video games all day long. I don't know why the competitive edge is not there anymore. There's that competitive edge is gone. Those kids who do have that competitive edge are just going to destroy these kids and eat them for lunch.
Yeah, I agree.
In every aspect of life, not just sports.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that
too. It translates to the business world too. I have a daughter who, oh my God, I love her to death. But man, she has no clue of what it really is to put in a hard work. It's disappointing. They have no clue what it really takes to be successful.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, let's go to our always interesting segment. We're going to change the title of this thing, which is Kerry's Interesting Sports Stuff. Kerry, bring it, man. I'm excited. I love learning new things. What do you got?
I wanted to say, since we're getting back onto football, can y'all tell me how many current teams in the NFL, have moved at least one time?
Oh, man.
Current teams that have moved at least one time.
Moved. Yep.
Oakland.
Man.
Oakland has moved multiple times.
Yeah.
That's the first
I'm going to say 8.
In my head.
Say
8.
That's a good guess.
8 teams.
8 teams?
I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with 8.
I'm going to go 5. I'm going to say 5 teams.
10.
What?
10 teams. Yep. Now I'm going all the way back to. I should have told you. I went all the way back to the beginning of the NFL, 1920.
Are these teams that were back in 1920? Are they still currently playing?
I said current. I did say current.
Okay, I'm just making sure you didn't have some sort of weird loophole phrase that you screwed us on here.
Oh no! I'll tell you. So the Chicago Bears, they were in Decatur. They were the Decatur Staleys, and they moved to Chicago in 1921.
Okay.
First team to move.
Okay.
Fake news.
The Washington Redskins used to be in Boston.
Yeah, weren't they the Boston Braves?
They were the Boston Redskins.
Boston Redskins, okay.
Yep. The Boston Braves were the baseball team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The LA Rams, who then went to St. Louis and then went back to LA.
Yeah.
They were the Cleveland Rams.
Wow. I would have never thought that.
That's terrible. That's a terrible name.
The Cardinals. Can you tell me where did they used to be?
St. Louis first, right?
St. Louis, right?
And before that.
Nope. Yeah. Where were they before St. Louis?
Philadelphia, right?
Chicago.
Oh,
really?
Chicago. Yeah. This is one I didn't know about. All these others I kind of knew about.
I
did not know.
This one I didn't know about. I knew the other was make us feel dumb, Kerry. Thanks.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I love this kind of stuff. The Chargers actually started in L.A.
Oh, wow.
And then moved to San Diego.
That.
Yeah. When When they were in the AFL, they were in LA. And then
So they were the LA Chargers originally?
Yep.
So really, they just came back home.
They
Everybody's
came
going
home. Yep. After 45 years or something like that. Yeah, 55 years. They came home.
And I was upset about that move.
I know, me too.
I was like, why are we going to LA? Like, I don't understand this. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then, of course, the Dallas Texans.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah. Lame.
What other one? And then it gets to the more modern ones that everybody knows about. Oh, Oakland moving to LA.
Yeah.
Baltimore Colts moving to Indy.
Mm-hmm.
The St. Louis Cardinals, moving to Phoenix. So this is all the modern era. And then, of course, the Raiders back to Oakland and now to Vegas, which they shouldn't have been allowed to do.
Surely on your list, the Raiders have moved the most, right?
The Raiders have moved the most.
That's what I said. Had to be down,
Oakland to LA to Oakland to LA to Oakland to Las Vegas.
But the Rams are pretty close.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they started in Cleveland and then went to LA, then to St. Louis, and then back to LA.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So 10
I like
current
that.
teams.
That was really good.
That was a good one, Kerry. But you know what I get from that?
What?
Nobody likes the Chiefs.
Nobody likes the Chiefs.
Nobody cares about the Chiefs. Nobody cares.
That's pretty funny.
That's what you got out of that? That's the
I
whole
got
thing you got out of that. Wow. Okay.
That's what I got. That was the number one thing I got out of that, was that nobody likes the Chiefs.
The weirdest thing about that, though, is that the Dallas Texans actually won one or two championships and then moved to Kansas City like the next year.
Oh, see, I didn't know that either.
Boy,
you're winning. Why would you move?
How pissed would you be if Lord forbid, the Dallas Cowboys are never going to move? Could you imagine if your favorite team won 2 Super Bowls in a row and they're like, guess what, folks? Next year, we're moving to Mexico.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean you're leaving? What?
Royally ticked off.
Yeah, there's the 100,000 seat stadium down there. We're leaving. Oh, I'd be pissed.
Another cool little fact, since we're all on this subject here.
Okay.
In 1944, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles did not have enough players to field a team because of World War II. And so they actually combined those two teams.
Okay.
And it was like, I think they called it like the Pitfield.
The Pitfield.
Yeah, Pitfield. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pitfield. Interesting.
You always have all kinds of crazy information. I find it really entertaining every week.
I know. How do you find this stuff, too? Like the Pitfield thing. Where did you find that?
Just reading about the history of the NFL.
He's a big history buff. That and weather. If you ever want to know anything about weather, you call Mullins.
Hey, I think it's going to rain today.
Good call. Good call.
I think you're 100% chance of that probability being correct.
All right. Well,
but there you have it.
Mullins is our official historian for this. If this grows any larger in our company, or whatever ends up happening here, then Mullins will be our historian. He'll go back. Remember 2020 when we started this thing? Well, there was only 3 people originally. We're all CEOs together and blah blah blah.
That's great.
So,
hey,
all right, man.
Got to keep history going, man.
I know. There's good stuff going on. So, all right. Topic number 2. This was all difficult for all of us. So, yeah.
I just threw something together. Yeah.
I had my stuff researching through this plenty of times, guys. So we're going to break down the ACC Coastal. We're going to see the best teams out of this division and discuss. So, Mullins, since you have it together and that was your last segment, then you lead it off, man.
Does the ACC Coastal still play football?
Oh,
are there teams there?
Wow,
dude. What? Golly.
Wow. I'm just kidding. I like Virginia Tech. I actually love them. Because they're a lot like A&M.
That's okay.
So they're a really fun team, and of course, Boomer Ball was exciting, and I love their entry. They entered the stadium to the song "Sandman" by Metallica, so that's really cool. And
nobody responded, so I'm going to say it again. That's just hokey.
Oh, there goes Cook with his dad jokes, and he did a hokey pokey.
So,
sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So, no, that's good. Division winners, I think that the division is going to be won by Virginia Tech.
Okay.
It's going to be really close, though, between them and North Carolina, I think, because Matt Brown's got North Carolina really moving in the right direction. So they're going to be a really tough team. But I think Virginia Tech's going to edge it out by probably like 1 win.
Okay.
Let's see. Dark horses, maybe Miami. That's give them an outside chance because you never can count them out. Because when they're supposed to do good, they do crappy. But when they're supposed to do crappy, they'll do good. So I could see them sneaking in there.
Okay. How would you rate the division as a whole, up and down? When you were looking at it, is it a tough division in your opinion?
No.
No.
Nowhere near. As a matter of fact, if you take all the divisions of the Power Five, this is probably the bottom.
Okay.
I would put them at the absolute bottom.
I thought it was pretty close too. So yeah, that's my opinion as a whole. Also, so Cook, what are your thoughts though about breaking down the ACC Coastal?
First of all, I'll say this: the ACC Coastal is so bad that North Dakota State could almost win this division.
Oh, whoa!
God,
Now
man.
he's on the bandwagon.
I'll just
I
start
should have
off
saw this coming.
Yeah,
I should have
know,
saw
right?
that coming. I don't even know why I asked you any questions anymore.
I'll also go with this.
But you know what? You're right.
I believe that Mullins is a little incorrect with his rankings of the teams in that division.
Okay.
I'm going with Miami to win this bad boy.
Whoa.
I got Miami going 10-2.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, Miami's got.
Are you looking at the same division I'm looking at?
Did you look at their schedule?
I got Miami going 10-2, man, and I even got them got an outside chance of going 11-1.
What?
Wow.
I love their quarterback King, the transfer from Houston. Love him, and I think he's going to ignite that offense. I think they're going to have a really good shot. I think they got a legitimate shot at going 10-2. Some luck here and there, maybe 11-1. I got North Carolina. I got North Carolina being number 2. I got VTech number 3, Pitt 4, Duke number 5, Virginia number 6, Georgia Tech number 7. I got my dark horse as North Carolina possibly being the team to win it, other than Miami. I think VTech's going to have a down year, and a down year for them is going to be like 8-4. I don't think they're going to be any better than 8-4.
Are you sure you looked at the right division before you checked this out?
I think he's
Why don't we mark this? And around December the 10th, I will be accepting your apologies for your behavior.
No.
Is this going to be the same level of North Dakota State? The same level or above
No,
that?
this is not the same level as North Dakota State. North Dakota State could almost win this division. Almost. They've been finishing the top 5.
Yeah. You do know there's been a different division winner for like the past 5 years for this division, right?
I understand that there has been some inconsistencies with the winning of the division.
Inconsistencies?
Yes, I understand that there's some inconsistencies with the winning of the division. But I'm calling that Miami will be 10-2 this year with the potential of being 11-1. I'm sticking to 10-2. I think they have to really get lucky to go 11-1.
See, I got VTech at 10-2.
I think they're going to go 10-2. I have VTech at 8-4.
I've got Miami at 8-4.
And I've got North Carolina going 9-3.
What?
No, I'll agree with you there. I got North Carolina 9-3. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So since you seem to be a little upset about this, what you got going on?
Oh, okay. First of all, so Bronco
and this is
Mendenhall,
not a good division.
Okay, it's not a good division. No. Okay, top to bottom, it's not a good division. Okay, I'll tell you this though. Looking into it though, the more I looked into it, the coaching on that side is getting a lot better. Okay, so there's better coaches top to bottom in that whole division, but I think it's still all muttered up. It's gonna be luck and who drops the ball, who doesn't drop the ball. I have Virginia repeating. Okay, I have Virginia repeating from last year. They have the returning quarterback coming back. They've got their coach, Bronco Mendenhall, going in the right direction. Now, they do need to pick up on the recruiting, but that'll happen with more wins. But I only have them in Virginia only getting to 9 wins. That's the only 2 teams I actually have getting to 9 wins. And both of those are going to be at 9-3. And the winner of that last game is going to go to the championship. That's who I have right there, picking in that division. Between Virginia and Virginia Tech, that's how I see it. Because when I look at Miami, you're right. Miami is one of those things, like Mullins said, you're going to bet on them to be good, and then they're bad. You bet on them to be bad, and they're going to be good, right? Their quarterback situation is much better. I agree with you, Cook. I think their quarterback situation is much, much improved. But I think Florida State's going to be much improved. I think they're going to take an L to Florida State. I think they're going to take an L to North Carolina when I look at their schedule. Excuse me. And then, of course, at Michigan State. So that's 3 losses, in my opinion, right there for Miami alone. So,
I've got them beating Michigan State, and I've got them beating North Carolina.
You got to beat them, Michigan State?
I got them losing to Florida State.
So, well, I mean, I'm not saying that Miami couldn't do it. I'm not saying that because this division is crazy every year. There is no clear-cut winner every year. But I mean, I'm not saying I don't disagree. I just look at their schedule and it's like, I didn't know how you got to 10-2. I looked at it and I was like,
you disagree. It's okay. You disagree. I can tell from the look on your face. You disagree. It is hard for you to sit there and go, what? Miami, you disagree. It's all right.
I do. A little. I mean, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, I got Virginia going 4-8.
Oh man, 4-8.
4-8.
No.
Yeah.
Virginia's going to do way better than
man.
December the 10th.
I don't know about that, man. I don't see that. But okay, I'll do this before I forget. My dark horse though coming out of this is Louisville, because that Coach Satterfield? I hope I'm saying his name right. Coach Satterfield turned that program around really well last year. I mean, I think they were a +4 on win totals, and I think they won their bowl game also. So Louisville is actually my dark horse coming out because he was a heck of a coach at Appalachian State.
Louisville on
he was
the
the
other
head
side?
coach when they beat Michigan.
Yeah, Louisville's not in that division, man.
Huh?
Louisville's not in the coastal.
They're Atlantic.
They're Atlantic?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that would be an extreme dark horse.
So, but excuse me. So, but that top to bottom though, that whole division though is just I don't know. They're muddled to me. I mean, I can see any of the top 5 teams outside of Duke and Georgia Tech. Basically, I can see any of the other 5 teams winning that division.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. I should say that it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, really, as the ACC as a whole, it's only Clemson. That's it.
It is.
None of the other teams even matter.
I can concur with both your statements, but I just happen to believe that Miami's going to win it this year.
So, if you've looked at the conference championship games for the past 4 years, the closest one was I think 42-35 or 42-28 maybe, and all the other ones were blowouts. I mean, like plus 20 by Clemson. So, yeah, but
yeah, Coastal they might as well stay on the beach.
Yeah, I think so too. So, Coach, I mean, are you with Mullins too? Is this just a terrible division of college football?
Yeah, I think this is bad. This is a bad Power 5 conference division. It's bad.
So does Mac Brown take North Carolina to the top, though? Not this year, but the following year, and be there on a consistent basis?
He definitely has them going in the right way.
I think he's got him going the right way. He's basically the CEO. He's not really doing much, is he? He's just handling recruiting. He's being the CEO for the most part of this team, isn't he?
I think so.
He's basically being a de facto general manager for college football right now.
Yes.
I don't see him being there much longer, to be honest with you.
Possibly.
I think he's going to be there long enough to make them relevant. So 5 years, I think probably total, and then I think he'll be gone.
I agree.
So I think those last 2 years.
Second year or third year? Is this his second or third year?
Second year.
Second year.
They're trending in the right direction. Don't get me wrong. He's a recruiter out the wazoo. That dude can recruit like nobody's business. I mean, look what he did in Texas. I mean, it's amazing. But can he take that talent and actually do anything with it? That's the key.
He did.
If he didn't have Vince Young, he wouldn't win the world. He wouldn't have won the national championship.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that. But he did. Hey, I'll tell you one thing he's doing. He's done his best to keep all the in-state talent there. So the 4-star quarterback stayed. They have a 5-star cornerback that's also there that's being recruited by everybody that they're trending on. So he's doing a heck of a job of keeping the in-state talent going. So, but yeah, I'm with you guys. I think that division as a whole, God, I had no idea. So what's going to happen? So, but yeah. So
yeah,
all right.
And if anybody is listening from the ACC Coastal, I'm sorry.
Hey man, you're still ACC Coastal. You can always claim that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump into our next thing with Cook's 56 cents, man. What do you got going on this week?
I'm going to shock you boys with this one.
Okay.
I heard something this week and it irritated the mess out of me. And this is going to be a little shocking to y'all. Did you gentlemen happen to see the NFL.com's ranking of the coaches of the NFL this year?
No.
They did a ranking of the top 32 coaches, obviously, the head coaches of who they ranked 1 through 32nd.
Okay.
If you had to guess who the 32nd coach in the NFL was, who would you think it would be? Got to be quick.
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien.
Would you legitimately list Bill O'Brien as the 32nd?
No,
head coach?
I would. Mine would be the Bengals head coach. Oh, who is he now? I can't think of his name, but it would be the Bengals head coach.
I know who you're talking about, the rookie head coach from last year, right? What about you, Mullins? Who would you rank as number 32?
Yeah, I would go with maybe who's Cleveland's head coach was.
Oh, he's the new guy from this is his first season. He wasn't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which ironically, the guy wasn't even head coach last year, but yet he's ranked higher than the 32nd head coach. That's interesting as well.
Ouch.
All these other guys are ranking ahead of this head coach. Who would you list as your 32nd, Mullins? Need an answer.
Who's Jacksonville's head coach? What about him?
Oh, Musgrove or what his name is?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with him. Yeah.
All right. Bill O'Brien came as number 32.
What?
On the list of NFL from NFL.com.
Wow.
Which is the most absolute ridiculously absurd thing I've ever heard.
What was their reasoning?
I can't stand Bill O'Brien. I don't like him as a coach. I take that back. I think he has some good merit as a coach, but he's worn his welcome out here in Houston. It's time to go. But the man is 52-44 in his time in Houston. He's 2-4 in the postseason, and they have him ranked as the worst coach in the NFL. That to me is the most absolutely ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Now, if you want to rank general managers, he's number 39.
Oh, yeah,
39
right.
and 32. You kick him in the face and say, "Get out of here! You don't belong here anymore. Get out." As a coach, he pulled some pretty impressive things out. You know, he's played with T.J. Yates as a starting quarterback. He's had, hell, he had Keenum. He had Keenum as our starting quarterback for half a season one year. I mean, and he still is 52-44. I will give him props on that. There is no way in hell this man is the 32nd head coach in the NFL. NFL.com is they have lost their freaking mind.
Wow.
Well, okay.
Okay. My first question, same as Mullins. Like, what was the reasoning? Like, what was their like snippet below why he was number 32?
Let me see if I can find that real quick for you.
Okay.
But I don't remember what the snippet was off the top of my head. No, I can't find it quick enough for you. But they mentioned in their now listen, this is a ranking of NFL head coaches, but they listed his bumbling of being a general manager as part of it, which is stupid. If you're doing it on NFL head coaches, it should be all based on coaching, not general manager. So NFL.com has just lost their mind. There's no way they do. And they had guys who are rookie head coaches who have never coached a game ranked ahead of this man. Absolutely insane to me. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The NFL.com has lost their mind. Whoever wrote that column should be fired immediately. He should be on the bus with Bill O'Brien on the way out of town to Houston.
I got a quick follow-up question. Okay, follow-up question. And this is not quite exactly the same thing. But is Bill O'Brien is he suited as an OC and only an OC?
I think he's a good head coach. He's a solid head coach, but for whatever reason, he doesn't have the ability to get his team to push through that wall. Whatever reason. It may be the situation. Maybe a change of scenery changes that for him. Tony Dungy couldn't get it done in Tampa Bay, went to Indy, won a Super Bowl. Maybe he goes somewhere else and wins a Super Bowl somewhere else, but it's not working here, and I just can't see it working. Now, we'll give him this. I will say in the last month or so, my impressions of him have changed quite a bit, seeing some of his interviews and things of that nature regarding some of the racial injustice stuff going on and some of his opinions on how he treats the team and some of the things he does with the team, some of his philosophies that he's opening up about. I like what he does, but he's not getting the job done. He's been here for 6 years now. It's just he's not getting the job done. It's time to move on. Plus, his GM stuff is just really, made me lose it. That's the point. You want to remove the GM title, make him the coach, bring in the general manager, and let them run the organization from top to bottom on that side of it. I might consider keeping him on for a little bit longer, but right now I'm done with Bill O'Brien. But he's not the 32nd head coach in the NFL. No way.
Okay. I get on board with that. So
is he tradable?
Is he tradable? Yes. If John Gruden can be traded, wasn't John Gruden traded for a first-round draft pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? So
he was.
If I was going to trade Bill O'Brien, if I was trading for him, I would want a third-round pick and a ham sandwich.
No. In that order, or ham sandwich, and then
depends on where the ham sandwich is coming from.
What kind of cheese?
I'm going to need Munster cheese on my ham.
Oh sandwich. No, that's a deal breaker. Sorry, that's too much.
That's too much. Okay.
It's too much.
Well, we're just going to outright release him. You can pick him up.
Oh man, Cook, that was a good one, man. That was a good snippet. I like that. So Cook's 56 cents, guys. So let's go to our next topic, which is breaking down the AFC West. Oh, I love this. I thought the AFC West was a pretty fun division to break down. The more I got into it, I probably spent more time with it than I should have, but I had a blast with it. So Cook, lead it off, man.
The AFC West, man, it's interesting. Definitely interesting.
It's easy.
It's easy to pick the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think Kansas City's going to win it. Now, it might be interesting to hear from you two guys what you think their record's going to be. I think that'd be interesting to listen to. I got them going 11-5.
Undefeated.
That's not happening.
No, I'm just kidding.
I got them going 11-5. For me, I got the Chargers finishing up second with 10-6. I really think that they're going to do well with Tyrod Taylor, and I think Herbert's going to be coming in there at some point as well. But I think they're going to do well at the quarterback position. They're going to be playing the ground and pound. It's going to be old school football there, and I think they're going to move their defense. They're going to lean on that. I think they could get into the playoffs potentially. I think they're going to finish second. I got Oakland going 8-8. I just don't see Oakland being a contender this year yet. They still got some building they got to do. I've got them going 8-8. With some luck, they may could go 9. Now, to me, the interesting one was Denver. I've got Denver going 7-9. But of this group, I could see Denver going from 7-9 to 10-6. It really could swing either way for me.
Wow.
I got them going 7-9, but I would not be surprised if those guys finish 10-6.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the winner's easy. So I'm Mullins to go up, man. You're up.
Yeah, KC all the way.
Oh yeah.
Easily. And I think their record's going to be 13-3.
Okay.
I just don't see them losing a whole lot. And I had a hard time seeing that they lost 3. So it could be even better than that. 14-2. Hate to say 15-1, but you never know. That team is that good, that talented. They are loaded at every position, both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I
mean, this team is phenomenal. And they're young. It's a young team. And then I got Denver going second with a 9-7. I agree with Cook. they could go the other way, but I really think they're going to be 9-7. The Chargers, I think there's just too many questions on that team. It's a lot of unknowns. I think they're going to be really hurting. So I see them at 6-10 and the Raiders at 6-10. They're just not going to do good because they're the Raiders. Sorry, John. But,
okay. Mine's a little bit off, but a little different. But okay, I had 13-3-2 for Kansas City. Only 3 losses I saw for them were on the road to Baltimore, on the road to Buffalo, and then I think on the road to New Orleans. Those are the only 3 losses I saw.
And they could easily win those games.
They could.
Now, Buffalo is a tricky one. I think Buffalo is going to be their trap game.
I do too, and I mean just because of the defense that Buffalo has, I think it'd be interesting.
Their trap game is going to be the first game of the season.
Yeah, maybe.
Not with the 32nd ranked head coach. They're not going to, right?
I got them losing the Texans opening night.
Wow.
Are you sure? I mean, they do have the 32nd. They have the 32nd ranked head coach over there.
I'm almost willing to almost guarantee it.
Wow. They may be down by 32 at halftime, but they'll come back and win.
Extremely confident. Now listen to this. I am extremely confident the Texans are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs on opening night. But that doesn't mean that the Texans won't go 8-8.
Oh man, you and your bets, dude. You got North Dakota, you've got the Coastal, and you got another one, dude. I mean,
North Dakota is not that big of a deal. They're going to get their butts destroyed by Oregon. That's going to be a multiple touchdown victory for Oregon.
Okay, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. Okay, all right. After that, I actually the rest of the division I have it pretty bad actually. I have the Raiders at 7-9, coming in second. I don't see them doing much this offseason. I do like the rookies that they brought in, as far as wide receivers is concerned. I love Josh Jacobs, but as far as the team as a whole, I don't see it. Their defensive line should be awesome, but I don't know how their secondary is going to hold up with everything. Denver, I had 5-11 actually, and the only reason I have them at 5-11 is the fact that Drew Lock is quarterback. I don't know how much he's going to develop in that second year. I think that defense is a whole lot better.
Lock had a really good stretch down the end of the season last year, so I think he can ride that high.
I think he could too, but there's also that sophomore slump that I'm worried about, and I'm betting more on that sophomore slump than I'm betting on what he did towards the end of the season. I do think the defense will play really good, though. I think Bradley Chubb and Von Miller will be awesome most of the year. And then after that, I had the Chargers 4-12, and nothing against Anthony Flynn. I think Anthony Flynn is a great coach. I just don't know how far Tyrod Taylor can take them, and you can only rely so much on that defense. You know, I mean, you got to put points on the board, but with Bosa and Ingram and Darwin James and those guys, I mean, they could shut down an offense. I think they really could. But I mean, if Tyrod Taylor can't get you in the field goal range, you know, for a few points, it's not going to happen. So, what do you think though, as a whole, as the toughest as the division though? Do you think it was a pretty tough division looking at it, or do you think this is just pretty much Kansas City's to lose?
Oh, definitely Kansas.
It's definitely Kansas City's to lose, but as far as a tough division, no, I don't think it's a mediocre division. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the worst division, but it's not top tier in my opinion either.
Right.
Okay. I thought that it was. I think it was mediocre. I thought there were some rising teams. Broncos could be a rising team. Chargers could be a rising team. I'm real shaky on the Raiders. I don't know what it is about Gruden, but he hasn't proven anything to me since he won that Super Bowl. You know, he hasn't proven that he can build a team and make it better. So I'm not.
Maybe there's a reason they gave him 10 years because they knew it was going to take that long to freaking build it. Man, I don't know. It seems like it's taking forever. And how many rookie receivers they have? They got it's got to be a record, man. They drafted so many receivers, it was unbelievable.
They did. They drafted quite a bit.
It's going to implement the run and gun.
So, but they also drafted well. I mean, they not say drafted well, but they picked up some good guys in the offseason as far as their defensive line is concerned. Malik Collins from the Cowboys, got signed with them. Carl Nassib from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got, signed by them. And then Arden Key, of course, that they drafted last year, who was injured last year. I mean, their D line could look really solid throughout the season, but it's just that offensive side of the ball I just don't know about. But I mean,
quarterback.
So yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, does Mariota come in at any time point in the season? I don't know.
He might be able to beat out Carr.
He might be able to. I don't know.
I'm not sure about that either. I think Carr I think there's a chance Carr may get traded before the season's over.
So
I could see that, yeah.
But then then Mariota. I mean, I like Mariota as a person. Off the field, I think he's a great individual. But I mean, his throwing, I've never been impressed with him from the pocket, Mariota as a whole. So I don't know if they have any good quarterbacks on that team right now.
Well, all you got to do is look at their stadium, and it looks like a vacuum cleaner, and so that obviously tells you they're going to suck.
Wow.
Anyone listening from the Las Vegas Raiders,
So
Your team is going to suck.
please, if you have any free tickets to the Pro Bowl, please go ahead and send them our way. Don't take his comments too harshly.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah. We need tickets.
But their O line and D line. I mean, it's going to be solid. So I mean, they could that 7-9. I mean, it could easily be 9-7, and they could sneak in as a wild card spot possibly. But that's as best as it's going to get. I think Denver and the Chargers, like I said, I think Denver and Chargers, they're going to have some growing pains. But going into the next year, with some of the players that they have, I can see them definitely, not winning the division, but getting a wild card spot. So I think all those teams are a year out, but that's just me. Outside of Kansas City, of course.
Potentially,
Right.
yeah, they could be a year out.
So
Chargers to me is a good team, possibly rising. I mean, they really could, if they get some good quarterback play, they could be dangerous.
So, Chargers. I like what they have. There's some nice weapons on offense side of the ball. I mean, they got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry. I mean, Eckler. I mean, they've got some really good offensive weapons. I just don't know if Tyrod Taylor can take those guys to another level, though. I don't know if they have that. And that kid Murray from Oklahoma is going to be their inside linebacker. So, I mean, they just add another piece on defense, too. That defense is going to look nasty with Bosa and Ingram and Murray and Derwin James. I mean, the Chargers could be much better than James. Much better than I gave them credit for. I just don't know offensively what's going to happen. That's where my weakness is that part right there, especially at the quarterback position. I don't know what's going to happen. So
I think the biggest key that I took away from this was that nobody likes the Chiefs.
you can't have that in two different segments. You can't have that.
It's a common thread.
I love them.
Nobody likes the Chiefs.
Chiefs are awesome.
The Chiefs were the fan. I'm not to say the fan favorite, but most people would cheer for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You know that, right? I mean, they were with Mahomes and everybody. Everybody loved those guys.
I was not cheering for the Chiefs.
That's sad.
I was cheering that the 49ers would please step on their throat.
Oh, heck no. No.
Man. Okay, how bad does this run deep for you, man? That's it. I mean, it sounds like it gets you pretty hardcore about this Chiefs.
I can still, in my brain, envision Priest Holmes scoring that touchdown in front of me, section 117, row V, seat 17, doing his little dance with nobody in the stadium. The game is already over, and this fool's still dancing into the end zone. I wanted to go on the field and punch him in the face.
Wow.
That's
yeah.
You got problems.
I'm telling you, man. That it struck a chord with me. I was like, oh my God, if I was on that field, there is no way in hell that dude would ever get it. No, he would not score. I would drag him down. There's no way.
Wow.
Not another one. He would not score another one.
Man, I think you might have a little bit of an issue there,
I'm not going to deny that. I just can't stand the Chiefs. I can't stand them. It's permanently ingrained in my brain seeing that. It's just, I can't take it.
Oh, and going to another point about the Raiders, guys. Did y'all see the first 7 games that they play? Did you see what they have to go do? They have to go to Carolina, then home to New Orleans, then go to New England, home to Buffalo, go to Kansas City, then home to Tampa Bay. I mean, and then go to Cleveland week 8. I mean, you're looking at that first 7 games for the Raiders. I mean, you're just like,
if they're 3-5, they're doing a good job.
They are doing a good job, but I mean, they could easily be 0-7. They could be 0-7 in those first few games, and the first win will be against the Chargers in week 8. I mean, that's possibly how bad it could be. So that's a really brutal schedule for them.
Yeah,
it really is.
Agreed.
So that's part of the reason I saw that. I was just like, that's a huge, huge red flag right there. Now, the rest of that season could end up being good, but no.
Gruden's not going to be happy, man. That dude's going to be yelling on the sideline.
Dude, I love watching that guy on the sideline. He's the most entertaining coach in the NFL.
Man, I enjoy watching him.
So, I do too.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. AFC West. Good breakdown, guys. Good breakdown. So, last thing of the evening, debate. I love this one, actually. I look forward to this one, which is we're debating old NFL uniforms, old school unis from the past, which one was the best, which one was the worst. Which team should have never changed. So, Mullins, dude, you're the historian, so you love this stuff. You go first.
Well, of course, being a Cowboys fan, I got to go with the Cowboys whites. The white helmet, even the all white, because they had but they still had the blue star on the shoulder pads, and it's just a beautiful uniform. But outside of the Cowboys, I'm going to have to go with the New York Jets, who likes to do their throwback to the New York Titans. Which is what they were before, and it's kind of a navy blue and gold color, which is really cool. I love those clean. They're clean. They're simple and just really sharp. So I'd say that was probably, outside of the Cowboys, those are my favorite. The absolute worst, probably Denver's really old ones, the brown and yellow.
Oh, the brown and yellow
with the stripes. Those
Yeah.
are hideous.
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh, the bumblebee. So yeah, those two are by far the worst.
Okay.
Green Bay likes to wear their stuff. Sometimes they'll have a blue jersey with a big circle on the front with a number on it, and then sometimes they'll just have the numbers on. When they do the circle, those are really hideous. If they don't do the circle, then they're pretty cool.
When they do just the yellow on top on the shoulder pad, it's really cool. Yeah,
those I like.
Yeah.
Now, teams that I don't think should have ever changed, the Patriots, and then the Orange Crush Denver Broncos.
Okay.
So
I like it.
those two, I think, should have stayed, and I wish they would go back to it.
Okay. I can get no more of the Cook. What did you have as like your best, your worst? What'd you have?
My favorite old
The
school
Chiefs. The
uniform
Chiefs.
is not the Chiefs. I love the San Diego Chargers powder blue, man, with that lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white helmet with the lightning bolt and the digit on the side.
The numbers. Yep.
Yeah, man, I love that uniform. I think that's great. I actually like the old baby blues from maybe it's the baby blue color I like, but I like the baby blues with the Oilers as well. I like their uniforms as well.
Agreed.
Another one of my favorite ones is the Broncos from the early '80s, mid '80s, when they're orange with their blue helmet.
Yeah,
I like that look as well. As far as the worst, I mean, I'm with you, Mullins. I cannot stand that Pittsburgh Steelers one. It drives me nuts. It is literally the worst uniform in history, in my opinion. I can't stand look at that. It's just so bad.
I can't believe the players are like even put up with that.
Yeah, they got to be like, come on, man. We look like we're in prison. What is this? This isn't the longest yard. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as teams that should have never changed, I'm kind of with Mullins. I like the old school New England Patriots uniform. I like that funky dude on the helmet. I like that. I think that's kind of cool. I also like the old school Buccaneers. I don't think they should change that.
Yeah.
I think they should have kept it.
The Dreamsicles.
The Dreamsicles, yeah. Now, I will say I'm not a big fan of the orange color, but I do like the mascot and all that stuff. I think it looks pretty cool.
Agreed.
What about you, Sosa?
Well, for me, I'm a Cowboys fan, right? So my favorite uni was the old school star on the shoulder, white uniform, the white helmet with the blue star. I think it's a beautiful uniform. I love it. I think it's so iconic still. I love the star now, of course, still, but man, I think it's a beautiful helmet. I'm with Mullins. I love the all white. I think it's pretty. I think it's awesome. I think you should wear it more often. Yep. But that's just me. That was my favorite. My second favorite actually was yours, Cook, was the San Diego powder baby blue. I love the baby blue. I think it's beautiful too. I think it's a pretty uniform. I like it. It looks sharp, and I love the helmet. Just San Diego baby blue.
This is classic, man.
It's extremely classic and iconic. I love it. We probably came with all the same answers, right? The Steelers were hideous.
Yeah.
Hideous. Oh my God. I mean, that's just terrible. I mean, I wouldn't wear that, if I didn't have to, but if I get paid, $1 million a game, I'm going to wear it. So that was.
I'll wear it in my bout with Mike Tyson.
I liked it, and then of course the Packers. I didn't like the Packers old school with the circle too. When Mullins brought that up, that was the worst, one I thought besides the Pittsburgh Steelers. The ones that should have changed, so the other ones I didn't like. The other one I didn't like too was the Eagles old school '80s uniforms. It's just I don't know if it's just the hate in me. But which probably it is, but I hated that silver wings and that ugly green color.
Part of that is
silver pants. Oh man, they hurt the crap out of me.
They should have went all the way back to. Have you seen their really old ones?
Yes.
It's kind of a powder blue and yellow.
Yeah,
it's funky looking. They should have gone did that. That should be their throwback.
Yeah, but they're old school, like 80s, early late 70s, early 80s ones. Oh, they're just ugly. I just hated it. So anyway, people that shouldn't change. I'm surprised I mentioned this one, but I like the old school, not the old school, but the 80s New York Giants helmet and their uniform. They're whites then. I thought they were pretty good. They shouldn't have changed. The Patriots, they shouldn't have changed. And then, of course, the 80s Broncos, they should have never changed. I should have kept that one forever. That was so iconic. I love the D still to this day and the horse. Yeah, I love it. I think it's a beautiful helmet. And the Buccaneers, I can't get on that train with you, Cook. I think, man, that's just ugly. That orange is
just like
ugly.
It's like an ugly dog, man. It's like it's so ugly, it's cute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hideous, they're good looking.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's kind of like Mans.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right.
So
Hey, I have a question for you boys. If you had to pick a current NFL, like back when they did the NFL Rush or they do that extreme NFL colored uniform, what's your favorite alternate uniform currently for NFL teams?
Oh, that's easy for me. Seattle.
Oh, that
bright ass lime color. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Love
What
that
about
one.
you, Tosin?
Oh man, I can't get on this. I don't like that. See, I'm the opposite of Mullins. I'm like, that's too much lime color for me. It's like it's too much. I'm like I have to look away.
With overkill.
Exactly. That's the point.
With a little bit of overkill.
I do like the New York Jets when they did their all green one time. It was pretty solid. I actually liked that one too. I thought that was a really pretty uniform that they did. I liked it. I thought it was just the right color green. It looked really good. So I got to go with the Jets. What about you?
I'm gonna go a little homer on this one. I like the battle red with the Texans. I like the all red uniforms.
Okay.
Those are my.
Yeah, I was
favorites.
gonna say, yeah, they do that, and then Arizona also does the all red, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I
too.
love the battle red. Now I will say the second to me would be the all black in Baltimore. I love the all black uniform as well.
No idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play in that uniform in the middle of the heat, but yeah.
Right.
So, are there? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this too. Are there any uniforms that you, if you're a player going across from somebody else, you're just like, that's an intimidating uniform? Like when the Ravens come out in their purple and black with their helmet, is that an intimidating uniform? You see what I'm saying? Like some people have something together about it.
I think if you're intimidated by a uniform, you got other issues.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, you can do a combination of the players and the uniforms. So you look at the Raiders back in the early '80s.
Yeah.
That was an intimidating team, not only because of their players were just badass, but that uniform is just classic, and it's pretty damn cool. So,
well, their fans are crazy too, Mullins. Their fans are crazy.
and their fans are crazy.
With the fans more than anything.
I know.
Right? That's why they should have never left Vegas or left Oakland.
Oh, I know. They should have never left at all. So, all right, man. Good show today, guys. Very good show.
Wait. I got one more for you.
Okay, what's up?
You're always throwing these curveballs at us. So I'm throwing a curveball at y'all. Y'all giving me garbage about this every week. So I'm throwing a curveball at you.
Oh,
Talk to me.
What is your favorite vegetable?
Ooh, vegetable.
Broccoli.
Black
Broccoli is
eyed
mine.
Broccoli is cauliflower's ugly sister.
Right. Y'all like some just nasty stuff.
What about you, Mons?
Black eyed peas.
That's not a vegetable.
It's a pea. A pea is a vegetable.
You know, that's going to be up for debate. That's what we're going to debate next week now. The black-eyed pea a vegetable? That's it. That's going to be it right there. So,
sorry,
that's
that didn't hit as hard as I hoped it would, but I will say that broccoli is the ugly sister of cauliflower.
Nah, it's not.
Most of
You're
those
wrong
things are
about that.
nasty.
Yeah, you're wrong about all that.
I got new cauliflower chips this week, man. I got nacho flavored cauliflower chips. They were good.
You know what? Now I'm ending the show right now. That's it. I'm ending the show right now. That's it right here. So, all right, guys. Hey, last word, Mullins? What's the last word?
Ready for football?
Last word.
I said that last week, but
Man, I'm ready to play. So I'm ready to get this season going. I want some baseball. I want some football. I want some basketball. I want it all, man. I want it all. New socks and draws, everything.
Okay. All right. So, hey, reach out to us on social media, guys. Facebook, YouTube. Check us on Spotify. Email us out of offourgame@gmail.com. Show number 5 is out. Good night, everybody.